Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Welcome everyone to our VIP meeting this evening. We are excited to have you here. And
Yes.
this meeting was scheduled because I feel like everyone should know that we can improve our health regardless as to the illness or disease.
Yeah.
It does not matter what it's called. So we wanted to be able to share some wonderful information this evening. And simply my story is that I've had a journey with wellness, which started, believe it or not, over 40 years ago. And my marker is with my firstborn son. We did home seminars and we journeyed there to be able to help anyone who is interested in getting better health. So, but most importantly, it emphasized how wonderfully we are made. And I think everyone, just about everyone on this call would agree to that. No matter what we're going through, the body tries to fight for us. And so we want to help the body to improve. So I've learned much through the years about the body and how it works. And I still want to help anyone who wishes to be able to take control of their lives for better health. Now we will see a 3-minute video which overviews our tonight's subject. Learn what your doctor is not sharing. Your immune system is the key.
In 2001, the U.S. Department of Defense asked the world's foremost expert on micronutrition and supplementation to develop a supplement that could provide a singular daily source of nutritional defense and nourishment for our U.S. troops, not just to protect them, but to sustain them as well. This was no small task, as our troops are exposed to some of the most extreme and harsh environments on the planet, and therefore they must meet the very highest standards of health and wellness to protect our country. After 6 years of testing, over $24 million invested, of which $12.5 million came from the U.S. Congress, 9 months of safety testing with the U.S. Military Internal Review Board, and 14 total clinical studies, including 7 human trials, a total of 7 patents were issued, 4 functional patents and 3 formulation patents, making it the most scientifically validated micronutrient supplement in the world. And the benefits are absolutely staggering. One of the patents states micronutrient formulations for the treatment of diabetes mellitus. I would like to introduce you to this incredible company who has made this life-changing product line, once only available to the U.S. military, available to the general public. Testimonials are coming in left and right, and I am so excited to share this powerful information with you. Click the Request More Info button below, and we will instantly take you inside and give you all the incredible details on this life-changing product. Do this right now, and we'll see you on the next page.
Yes, that has been an amazing revolution. So it's sharing this kind of information worldwide. So now help me welcome someone who has become quite an expert in sharing about better quality of life because his extensive research of nutrition for the body. So none other than our research director for Healthcare Support Association of America, Mr. Jonathan Jones.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Um, Fantastic job there with getting everything started. definitely appreciated your introductory comments and your story. Learn something new every time I hear you speak. So thank you very much for sharing that. And you're to be commended for stepping up to make a presentation like this available and inviting those that you care about to a presentation like this. And some of you, if you're here for the first time, by the way, just hearing a presentation like this for the first time from Joyce or someone else who invited you, could you put up a heart? Just go ahead and share a heart so we can see, because we love to know who new folks are. And it won't stay up there forever, but just pop a heart up there so we can at least see who's hearing us, who's with us here for the first time. If you don't mind revealing yourself. Sometimes folks don't like to be singled out like that, but that's okay. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. What Joyce just mentioned and what you saw in the introductory, that video that she called for, is no less than revolutionary. Sometimes, things can sound a little bit hard to believe. And in fact, often you hear the expression, when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And I was that kind of person where I believed that was the case. I truly did believe at one time that, when something sounded too good to be true, you could just pretty much take that to the bank, that it just was not believable. And I missed out on a lot of things that way. But I no longer believe that now. Not about Dr. Prasad's formulas and not about many other things. This presentation is, we refer to it as a VIP presentation, virtual in-home presentation. So it's a little bit more casual. So that means if something comes up and you have a question about it, you can raise your hand or you can just unmute yourself and ask a question. So there's no right or wrong rules in this presentation. But we have found that most of the questions are answered through the presentation. So, but again, don't hesitate to raise your hand or to just interrupt and ask a question. That's what these kind of presentations are all about. So we're going to take a couple of minutes to just go through just a couple of quick slides, and then really just share. I think the video told most of the story. But I'm going to show you just a couple of quick slides. And in these couple of quick slides is basically going to give you a little bit of an overview of the products, a little bit of the science behind MicroDaily. But a lot of folks, my wife is one of those people that says, yeah, okay, I hear all that science and technical stuff. She says, but what's it doing for people? How are people being affected? What are people saying? So I'm going to take some time mostly to listen to you guys. If you have questions, I want to answer your specific questions, but to share a couple of testimonials with you. Because the bottom line is, everyone who came here today, if you're here for the first time, if you've been to one of these presentations many times, the question you have is, what's in it for me? Everyone wants to know that. I don't care what you say about someone else and how it affected their body, and their body was able to fight off some cancer. Their body was able to fight off disease of any kind. Mostly what you care about is what it will do for you or somebody that you care about. So that's what I kind of want to focus on tonight. But the disclaimer is up, so you can just kind of read it there. But basically it says that the FDA has not evaluated these statements. Even when you hear testimonials, it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. They're anecdotal. And we're not making any claims that these supplements that we'll be talking about will treat or cure any disease. So this information, this presentation is for information and educational purposes only. And it's not intended to be a substitute for a visit to your doctor. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. And that's important. But a couple of statistics that you may or may not know about is that some 2 million new cancer cases are diagnosed every single year. And all of us are affected by that. Regardless of what our personal health issues are, we're affected by it because we know someone or someone in our family has been affected by it. So you're talking more than 600,000 people will die from cancer in every year. I think it went up to 620 for this projected for the year 2026. That's about 1,700 people dying every single day. Do the math, and that means every other day it's like a 9/11 happened. And it's not even on the news. No one even hears about it. We never hear anything at all. Every other day it's a 9/11. But Dr. Prasad decided as a little boy, he was aware of what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He says, somebody should develop something that would protect people from radiation, dying from radiation, if man ever drops another bomb like that. He says, someone needs to focus on that. Someone needs to do something about that. And that little Indian boy decided he was going to become the first radiation biology PhD. And he did. He became the first in the world. And he set out to develop something that would help the body to recover from any kind of high level exposure to radiation like that. And Dr. Prasad is a brilliant man. He became so brilliant, he's formulated many products that have been awarded some 10 or 11 US patents. The United States Congress contacted him. They contracted him to formulate the product MicroDaily. And it was all designed to help the government's troops on the battlefield be in optimal health, no matter what their bodies were exposed to. So that's what Dr. Prasad set out to do. He did it. All the other vitamin companies were invited to do that. But it was Dr. Prasad who stepped up and said, I can do that. And he did. He did. He was also professor at University of Colorado School of Medicine for some 30 years. And as you can see, his accolades just go on and on and on. Two things that stand out to me, though, on his resume is his invitation to be on the Nobel Peace Prize nominating committee. So there's not just your garden variety scientist here. This is top shelf. And he also discovered the anti-cancer potency of vitamin E succinate, and that butyric acid is an anti-cancer agent. Has to do with fermentation of fibers in the gut. So the man knows something about the body. He knows something about nutrition. He's the godfather of micronutrition. No one has done more research on micronutrition than this man, Dr. Prasad. His books, these are just some of the books that this man has produced. We're talking about 35 different books that he's authored or co-authored on various subjects. He's even producing new research. He was recently published a new paper, it's about a year ago, on anti-aging, and it's centered around the core four. And can you believe that that's all patented? And this scientific paper that he published was all about how the core four can have an impact on the ravages of aging. So if you want to slow that process down, pay attention to the research that this man has done. He also did some research showing that this is interesting. High doses of antioxidants block the uptake of glucose and glutamine. Now, you might be shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, so what? What's the big deal that it blocks the uptake of glucose and glutamine? Well, science says that cancer cells must have glucose and glutamine to survive. They must have it. Dr. Prasad wrote this paper. It just needs to go to clinical studies now. We have anecdotal stories and we have observational studies that we're going to show you a couple of them now that prove that it blocks the uptake of glucose and glutamine. So if you or I could not eat or drink, what would happen to us? You're right, we would die. Cancer cells, when they can't eat, they simply die. That's what happens to cancer cells. So just keep that in mind, that is the case. I already told you about the disclaimer. We're not going to go through that again, but I'm going to tell you a couple of stories here. One of them, this woman here, her name is Iris. And Iris had breast cancer. And we have a recording of her sharing her story. But I'm just going to relate it to you real briefly here because I really want to hear from you guys and get your questions. But she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She opted for surgery. And she opted for 8 rounds of chemo, and she opted for 33 rounds of radiation. But before all that started, someone who may be on this meeting tonight recommended to her that she start on Dr. Prasad's formulas. And Iris tells her story And this is year over year over year that she's been telling this story. She never changes it. She says she didn't feel pain. She healed quicker than normal. The doctors were amazed at how fast she healed, and she did not have any of the side effects that were typical to chemotherapy, radiation, and even when she was on the tamoxifen, which is the post-cancer treatment, she didn't have all the pain and the discomfort that would come from that. So she was thrilled that she was exposed to Dr. Prasad's formula. This gentleman here, his name is Rick. This just happened a few years ago, as a matter of fact, about 2.5 years ago. On the left side of the screen, you'll see he suffered with basal cell carcinoma. It was untreated for many, many years. And before he went in for his treatment, which the doctors recommended a very powerful radiation treatment, they did not expect him to keep his eye. So Dr. Prasad looked into this case and found out that the radiation was not normal radiation. It was really a high dose of radiation. Again, something that is not normal. Not only did he not lose his eye, that's his face, the same man, in November of 2023. On the left, August of 2023, November of 2023. None of this is AI. There's not one bit of touch up, no editing has been done whatsoever on those pictures. That's what happened. But he started on Dr. Prasad's formula at the same time that he started on his treatments for radiation. I got one more that I'm going to show you, or tell you real quick. And this is another wound. So I apologize, I didn't warn you about that open wound there, but this other one's going to be an open wound too. So if you don't want to see that, you can look away now. But the arrow there is pointing to melanoma as the diagnosis. This is her actual, a medical paper that shows that she has melanoma, and that's cancer. Dr. Prasad said that's one of the bad ones. It was so bad that they wanted to amputate her foot. They were going to take it off there at the ankle, and that's the bottom of this woman's foot. She lives in Ecuador. That picture was taken April of 2024. In fact, this was actually taken on April the 18th, excuse me. That's the very first picture, taken on April the 18th. And right at this moment here, she didn't want to lose her foot. So her husband found one of our representatives down in that area and got him. He had some of Dr. Prasad's formula on hand. She began taking Dr. Prasad's formula. That high dose antioxidant, where the science says if you block the uptake of glucose and glutamine, the cancer cells die. Well, she started taking it. And look at this next picture. You won't believe this. This is just 4 days later, April the 22nd. And instead of the wound now spreading all over the bottom of her foot, it's literally drying up and turning into a scab. And I've asked more than one doctor to describe the difference between those two pictures. And both doctors say that's evidence of healing. Something is changing there. There's no more necrotic tissue around the edges. A scab is forming. So that's the way the doctors describe it. This is April the 22nd. So all the swelling has gone down. The pain is gone. She's got more energy, and she feels better. So not only is it visually getting better, she felt better, and she was feeling no pain when she walked. No pain. Now look at what happened just a few days later. This is 6 days later now, on April the 28th. Same foot. This is the same person. And if I did not know the people who took these pictures personally, I would question whether this was really true. The doctor was so baffled by it that he literally sent this woman out to get a second opinion, because he didn't believe that she was the same person, because when he tested her, she showed no evidence of cancer. This is what her foot looked like on May the 2nd. This is 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time. And we're talking high doses of antioxidants. So it's amazing. It actually is quite amazing. So the next doctor that checked her out, and they found no evidence of cancer in her lymph nodes, nowhere in her body. So everybody's shocked by this, and it's hard to believe. There it is on April the 18th. That's what her problem was on the left, and May the 1st. That's what her foot looked like there on the right. So it's Dr. Prasad who says that cancer cells must have glucose and glutamine. And he said if you deprive the cancer cells of these two things, he didn't say they cannot continue to advance. He said they die. So that's actually a misquote of Dr. Prasad right there. We're just trying to be politically correct and neutral. But Dr. Prasad said they die. The cancer cells die if they don't have glucose and glutamine. And you've seen two examples of how that's been the case and how that happened with two different individuals. So Dr. Prasad talks a lot about oxidative stress and free radicals, and that's what we're dealing with. That's really what the bottom line is when it comes to these products. So, and this is the main product right here. It's called MicroDaily EMF. So it has high doses of antioxidants, exogenous antioxidants, meaning the kind that come in from the outside, but it also causes your body to make endogenous antioxidants or glutathione. So it's the best of both worlds when it comes right down to it. It's very affordable too. So you're talking about what, about $90, for the advanced formula. And if you go for the original formula that the Soldiers on the Battlefield got, I think that's only about $60 or $70, and that's retail. You can even get it cheaper if you become a preferred customer. Just get a subscription, just like on Amazon. If you get a subscription, you get a discount on whatever it is that you order. So let's pause here for a couple of minutes and hear from some of you folks. I know for a fact that there's at least a couple of testimonials here that would like to share. Joyce, we have one testimonial that you invited to share.
Yes, I would like to have, she has Zoom user to the front. Her name is Paulette.
Okay, Paulette.
Paulette. So before you start, Paulette, I'd like to preface this with the fact that you were at my mother's house and your husband was having severe pain in his back. And it went on the whole time you were visiting. But my brother encouraged me to share. And so we did. We were able to share some samples with you to see if your husband would get some relief. Apparently he did, but you can take it away and tell us the story. You have to unmute.
Yeah, let's get you unmuted first, Paulette.
Okay, yes. Like she said, we visited her home, and my husband was in severe pain, and he started using the MicroDaily first. And we did have a prescription, but my husband's not taking it like he's supposed to. But I continue to take it. I have been diagnosed with diabetes since 2004. And over the years, my numbers have been up and down, just up and down. But last year, I started taking it faithfully because my husband stopped taking his, so I was able to continue to take it because he wasn't taking it, so I continued to take mine and his, and I'm still taking it daily. And
Okay. I'm glad you are.
yes, when I went to the doctor asked me, well, what are you taking for vitamins? And I told him I'm taking the MicroDaily faithfully daily. And he told me to continue to take them. And when I continued to take them, like I say, my numbers were up and down over the several years. But now all of my numbers are good. Every last number is good. My A1C, at one time, my A1C had gotten up to 21, but my A1C now is 7.1. I just gave blood today. I'm looking for it to come down because I also check my blood, my glucose daily, and it's even showing below 120 daily now. And I'm looking for my A1C to actually come down as well. And that's my story.
Wow. That's
I'm a little anemic, but Ms. Joyce told me what to take for that. And when I get those lab work back, I'm looking for that to come down because I did get what was it, black
blackstrap molasses.
Yes, I did get that, and I'm taking it now as well.
All right, that's very good. That's pretty amazing. You said your A1C was up to 22.
21 at one time. Yes.
21.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was even possible for the A1C to get that
I
high.
know, I know. And I think I was going through something at the time, because what it was is I was going to pray my way out of it. I was
Yeah.
going to pray my way out of diabetes, and I had
Yeah.
stopped taking the insulin. And
Mhm.
I just thank God for being alive, because the seriousness of that, what happened is, I went to the doctor, and they told me that's what my A1C was 21. But 2 days later, after leaving the hospital, I lost sight in both of my eyes, and it was
Yeah.
cataracts though. And I've
Yeah.
had cataract surgery on both my eyes. But my eyes, I can see, I can drive at night. It's just a blessing. I'm alive and can see as well as I do. And I really give God the praise for just keeping me here and meeting Joyce and having that micro daily to take daily as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like your prayers were answered. And
Yes,
sometimes they may not be answered the way that we want them to be
right,
answered, but we do get
right.
the answers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a product like this because I'll tell you, a lot of folks have said that these same formulas from Dr. Prasad have been an answer to their prayers. So,
Mm-hmm.
but thank you very much, Paulette, for being willing to share your story. We look forward to hearing more from you
Thank
in
you,
the future.
Paulette. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, it's amazing, amazing story.
Mm-hmm. And I'm
So,
gonna have to leave because I'm going on a trip tomorrow.
Okay.
But if anyone have any questions before I leave, you can go ahead and ask me.
okay, well, just stick around because I'm gonna just let everybody, anyone who
Okay.
has any questions now or
Okay.
would like to share their story, they can. And this whole thing is recorded too, Paulette. So if you want to get the
Okay.
entire rest of the meeting, you'll be able
Okay.
to get it.
Okay.
So, but does anyone have any questions for Paulette about what she did, or any other questions about how microdaily could help the body? Okay, well that means
Y'all know your French fries ready?
Yeah, no, it don't have any effect on
Hello,
French fries.
Jonathan.
I'm so sorry. Who's that? Fulvia?
Yes.
Hello, Fulvia.
Hi. Good
How are you
evening,
today?
everyone.
Oh, it's so
I
good to see you.
since Paulette was talking about struggling with diabetes, I too do, and it's been over 20 years. The highest A1C I've had is 12, not as high as her. I didn't even know you could get that high.
Yeah, see
But
what I'm saying?
thank God, yeah, 12, and I thought that was too much.
Mhm.
And right now, I'm in the 6s. And
Beautiful.
so it didn't come overnight. It took months before I even began to see any type of changes in my numbers.
Mhm.
And so, yes, it does take a while. And I am still taking those extra dosaging. And that's between capsules and the hydro.
Mhm.
That's what I do every single day.
Mhm.
And because I know a major part of it is me, because even when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really take it, I guess, serious as I
Right.
should.
Mhm.
And as a result, I developed my vision was affected. Just like you, Paulette, I did lose vision in both eyes for a little bit.
Mhm.
But my issues are diabetic retinopathy,
Mhm.
which is just swelling
Mhm.
and fluid in back of both of my eyes. And yes, cataracts, I didn't even know you could get them on the back end of your eyes, because
Mhm.
that's where my cataracts were. So they took care of that.
Mhm.
And it, I don't know, to be honest, it feels like after I've had 3 eye surgeries.
Mhm.
And after that, I don't know, to me, that's when the vision got worse.
Wow.
Now it's improving, because
Wow.
now I was doing shots in both eyes every month.
Mm.
Now it's only in my right eye, and that's every 2 months now. And I'm still taking my extra uh um uh
Micro daily.
provide the micro daily, yeah, but I'm also taking the eye boost. That's what I was trying to
iBoost.
Oh,
say.
okay.
The
Eye
iBoost,
boost.
yeah.
Mhm.
I take the eye boost, and I do like 3 in the morning, 3 in the evening of the eye boost. Glaucoma was an issue. Glaucoma, I had eye pressure of 57 and
Oh,
above
wow.
sometimes.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Now it steadily stays in the teens.
Wow.
So
Yes.
can't nobody tell this
Wow.
woman right here
Wow.
that these micronutrients
Mm.
don't work, because they do. It
Yes.
may be slow, and I think part of it is still me, because I didn't
Mhm.
steadily stay on my diet. I didn't do those things,
Right.
because so I think those things affected me, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. From where I came from, what brought me here, I had so much issues
Yep.
going on from the COVID time and what I went
Mm.
through with that, and then with the eyes, and things are just, I'm looking forward, and things are increasingly getting better. And
Mhm.
you know what my doctor says? Stop taking that stuff. It's no good for you. Yes, those were his exact words.
Yeah.
And he got so mad because I told him I will not.
Mhm.
I told him all about Dr. Prasad, was
Mhm.
showing him the brochure. Oh,
Mhm.
that's fake. He said, the man don't exist, y'all. That's what he
Wow.
told me. My son is my witness. He's not home right now, but he's my witness. 2 occasions, that man said, Dr. Prasad is fake. He doesn't exist. I said, that's funny, because I've been right next to him twice now, this past January and last year, January. He spoke to me. We hugged. I said, I got pictures with him. You want to see? Come on now. I said, this man does. I said, he's totally verifiable. And if he didn't exist, why would the Department of Defense seek him to create
Mhm.
these formulations for us?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't start out for us, but here we are.
Mhm.
So you can't. Let me tell you one more thing. He was so mad he left the room. He
Mm.
left the room and he changed color
Yeah.
because he's
Mhm.
lighter than I am.
Yeah.
He was like red. He came back maybe 10 minutes after, and he still was trying to convince me to stop. And I said, well, Doc, I hate to burst your bubble, but I'm going to be taking these because I took everything that I take. He
Mhm.
asked me to bring them, and I took everything. I
Mhm.
said, I'm going to take all of this every day, twice a day, till the day the Lord calls me home.
Mhm.
And he
Me
says,
too.
he said, I admire your personality. That's all he had to say.
Well,
Thank you for allowing me to share.
Fulvia, thank you for sharing your story. And I kind of wish that more seniors have that level of conviction. Because one of my I'll say spiritual mothers was in the very same situation. Her blood pressure went out of control, and horrible high blood pressure. She's on 4 different blood pressure medications. She just looked terrible. And so I told her I had something I thought would help her. And I took her over some micro daily hydro. And about 3, 4 days later, she sent me a text. She couldn't believe it. Her blood pressure had dropped from in the 200s, down into the 160s and 150s. It was approaching normal, and it did that in just a few days.
Mhm.
The next week, she went to see her doctor, and the doctor said the same thing, Fulvia, your doctor said to you: stop taking it. It's interfering with my treatment.
Mm.
She handed me all the product back. Everything she had not used, she gave it back to me.
Mm.
And about a year later, she was on dialysis.
Oh,
And
wow.
about a year after that, she was dead.
Mm.
And but she was getting results. She was improving. So it's very sad. It's very sad. So, and I'm
Yeah,
not telling any seniors to ignore your doctors.
right.
I'm not saying that at all, folks. But I am saying tap into something called common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tap into something called common sense. You know how you feel,
Mm-hmm.
and you know if you're improving or you're getting worse. You know that. And there
Mm-hmm.
are more doctors out there, so you could actually get another opinion and see if someone else, if other professionals feel the same way that this particular. So don't be completely you know fixated on one particular doctor. You know, make adjustments if you have to. Make
Mm-hmm.
adjustments and trust how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Trust how you feel. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions out there. You guys have any questions about any things that we're talking about so far? Do you have a particular issue that you want concerned about? Roberta Rice. Roberta Rice. Now, this is somebody here who just, I'm just, anyway, go ahead, Roberta.
I will compete with anyone that want to run track with me a few miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this was the lady that was on 99 pills a week.
Woo-wee.
And boy, there's a story behind that one. And my doctor said that she did not give me permission to take the at the time supplements, but God blessed us with these micronutrients. And my health has been on the up and the up and the up. And she said, I do not give you permission to take that stuff. And then I just reminded her that I was the boss of my body, the body that God gave me, and He has said
Amen to that.
the final say so. And I was on so much medication, I would be dizzy about to pass out, and I did drive in the car, but I ain't gonna get into all of that right now. The room would be spinning. I was having headaches. I was nauseated. And these are the doctors that wanted to give me chemo, and I didn't even have cancer. Well, even if I did have cancer, I sure wouldn't have taken chemo. And so I'm telling you, these micronutrients are no joke. Like Phobia said, I will take these to the day I leave the earth if I have to, because they told me I was going to be on medication for the rest of my life. And I said, and then they said, a person with the autoimmune disease that I was diagnosed with do not have long life tendency. So I said, take this for the rest of my life. I said, the devil is a lie. I said, I know a
I
God that
know
sits
that's
high,
right.
a God that sits high and look low. And we prayed for a solution, my husband and I, and this is what God blessed us with. And I was supposed to have knee surgery a year and a half ago. I could not even walk. And on the third day after taking these products, I was hopping. In a week's time, I was walking. 2 weeks later, we were at the park putting in 2 to 3 miles twice, 2 to 3 times a week. I'm telling y'all, this is God sent. We thank Dr. Bassad and Jonathan. We are grateful for what you do, all the research and that you put into all of this and helping people and helping my husband. So I thank you for that. But there's one thing I really got on here to say. My sister, 3 weeks ago, went to the doctor. She was very upset, and she got a diagnosis that she had cancer. There was a knot she had over a year. It was between her underarm and under her breast. So, I said to her, go get a second opinion. Y'all hear me. Go get a second opinion. So she went and got a second opinion. She calls me back to say that the second doctor said there was no cancer to be found anywhere in her body. Said that there was no cancer nowhere found in her body. Now, when the first doctor told her that, they will work it out for her to hurry and get chemo and radiation if possible. So that's when she went and got the second opinion. So when she got the second opinion and went back to the first doctor. I don't know why she went back to the first doctor, but it was good that she did and told them what the second doctor said. There's no cancer nowhere to be found. Then they reneged their statement. Oh, by the way, you don't have cancer. So I'm telling you, all she had was a boil under between her breast and underarm. So yes, I just wanted to confirm, get a second opinion because this medical industry is very aggressive about making the dollars. And I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roberta. Thank you for for sharing your story there. It's kind of sad to that we have to admit that those kinds of things do happen. They do. They do. The number 3 leading cause of death in the United States is called accidental death. Accidental death. Now,
Wow.
they used to label that iatrogenics. That's what it used to say, CDC. And I guess they figured that people would not look up the definition of the word iatrogenics. So they thought they can get away with it. But they come to find out some of us actually read and look things up. Iatrogenics means medical mistakes, medical errors. The number 3 leading cause of death in this country, medical mistakes. They changed the word. Now they're listed as accidents. So now that's designed to give you the impression that that includes car accidents, motorcycle accidents, falling off a roof, all accidents. That's what they hoping people will conclude, but that's not what it is. It's medical mistakes, death by doctor. Some people actually accidentally die because the doctor told them to do a certain thing, and they literally die from following their doctor's instructions because they didn't need the medication. So, and again, please don't stop taking your medication because I tell you to. Don't listen to me. I'm not a medical doctor. So I do research and I just provide people with information that they need. But you should check with another doctor, get a second opinion and confirm. My mother-in-law was on about 25 different medications. We used to have to track her meds on a spreadsheet. That's how we kept track of it. Every time Joanne and I would go up to take over her care, we'd have to keep track of it on a spreadsheet. It was just so confusing. Take this certain time, this a certain time, only this at a certain, really annoying. But we got her down now to, she's 95. She's 95 and they just took her off her diabetes medication. She can't take it. She doesn't need it anymore. At 95, how do you start getting better? How do you take less medication the older you get? How's that possible? Now, the only thing we can't do is she's having some bone deterioration in her neck and the joints, spinal stenosis, and it's causing excruciating pain. So we're dealing with trying to figure out how to manage the pain, and she can't take pharmaceuticals, so she's allergic to everything. So that's a real problem. So if any of you all have any good results with natural pain management for something like spinal stenosis, then let me know. But so far, we've tried almost everything natural that I know of and that many of my colleagues know, and we still have not been able to truly get that under control. So we're looking outside the box now. So if you know of anything, don't hesitate to send me an email. You can email me at eg@jonathanejones.com, eg@jonathanejones.com. So we have time for maybe another couple of questions. And before we wrap up, this video is right now being live streamed. You can go to YouTube to get the recording at any time. It's youtube.com/Jonathan Jones. youtube.com/Jonathan Jones. Can you believe it? Out of all the Jonathan Jones on the planet, the username that they gave me was Jonathan Jones, not Jonathan Jones 1, 2, 3, 20, 50, 100,000, nothing. I'm the original on YouTube, the original Jonathan Jones on YouTube. Can you believe that? I didn't believe it, but so glad I got it. So youtube.com/Jonathan Jones.
Maybe I can share my mom's story briefly. And
I don't know, Joyce. I don't. I don't know, Joyce. Please.
Yeah, it's amazing. She's upward of 100, she says, but she's along with your mom.
There we go.
But long story short, I've been assisting her over the past couple of years, with the nutrition. And January 2026, totally off all meds. Totally. And we were going to the same doctor. I ended up getting fired from him.
He fired you, huh?
He fired me. So I left. But anyway.
You talking back like Roberta.
Say that again.
You were talking back like Roberta?
Yeah. So anyway, I left, but she's still with him, and I saw him today because I had to take her in for a special procedure for her ears. And but anyway, he said he's always happy to see me. So I said, okay. But she's doing very well. We're just having a little physical therapy because of the back, stiffness and all. So she's improving a lot there, but no meds, just totally the new.
Did you say 101?
No, she's 95.
She's 95. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said she's pushing 100.
Oh, she'll get there. She'll get there as long as you stay on Dr. Prasad's anti-aging formulas. There's no question about it. She has a real good chance at it.
Yeah.
So, but thank you very much, Sir Joyce. Those kinds of stories are becoming more and more common, folks. We're hearing stories. I maybe just share one brief story before we conclude. This one is a family member, my sister, who had a stroke, and she had a stroke during COVID, and I think you guys will appreciate this because some people wonder, will it work on things like this? So let's just see if we can get Terry to tell her story real quick here. The first person, this is Terry Fitzgerald. Terry and I go back a number of years. We graduated from high school together. Can you just maybe start out, just tell us how the story began?
Okay, so I heard Althea mention at the beginning the connection of stroke and COVID-19. I had been reading up on that too, because the fact is stroke has always kind of been the boogeyman of my life. I was always aware of the threat. My grandmother had a massive stroke at 81 and died, and my baby brother was 28 when he was riding home from a wedding reception with his family, and he had a brain aneurysm and he died. So, it was always like, oh my, I could have a stroke. And when they diagnosed me with sarcoidosis back in 1990 and gave me mega doses of steroids and all kinds of other toxins, my system went into just uncontrollable high blood pressure, and that's where I live. And so it was always kind of the specter of a vascular accident, heart attack, or stroke happening. So I tried to eat right. I tried to do the things you need to do, and didn't process stress well, but still I tried. And then, well, guess what? Tuesday, May 5th, the boogeyman came knocking at my door. Stroke. I had a stroke. And I had watched all the videos with the people in the society's videos of people having strokes and, coming back, and the friends and the family, but nothing prepares you for that. Nothing prepares you for that. My husband said, well, he called the paramedics right away. He said that. I said, I have no idea. But he says, I said, I'm scared. I don't know what I said, but I knew right in that very ordinary instant, I was getting ready to get up and go get ready for the meeting. Everything in my life changed.
That's amazing. So that was this past Tuesday night this took place.
Yes.
So you made it to the hospital, and it was a very short period of time before the paramedics got there. So about 5 or 6 minutes before they got there. So what was your stay in the hospital like, and what was the prognosis?
Got there, ER, everybody was moving me around and yelling the words brain attack, which I wasn't really familiar with, but they kept saying brain attack, and that was a bit disconcerting, but they kept trying to keep me calm, and they kept running all kinds of tests. And so
keep you calm while shouting brain attack.
while shouting, brain attack, exactly. But anyway, finally, the neurologist came in and he just looked me in the eye and he said, "You've had a stroke." And he started talking about giving me that injection you hear people talk about where if they get it in you right away, it's supposed to dissolve blood clots. But he let me know, he was a very good doctor, I feel. He let me know that he wasn't too sure the risk would outweigh the benefits, because he said it will make you bleed everywhere. It will just make you hemorrhage inside and out. And there is that problem for you since you don't believe in blood transfusion. And I asked him what he thought I should do. And he says, "Well, I really don't think you should take it." And he said, "We'll see how things go. You seem to, be a candidate for some recovery." So then they started using those words like blood clot. And then they kept saying occlusion, and then they'd say stuff like cyst at the base of the brain. And I don't know. But anyway, their big concern was this occlusion. And they kept saying that, it was shutting off part of my brain. The blood was not flowing freely there. And so because of that, I was going to have problems. They put me in ICU for a while. And the thing of it was, I suddenly realized that left side of my body was gone. I no longer had it. They'd ask me if I could see, they do this little finger. I couldn't see anything, couldn't move anything. Nothing was happening. When they stand me up, I'd fall over. I couldn't sit up, couldn't stand up because it was just gone. And they were very encouraging. They kept saying, "Well, in time, if you don't give up, if you, keep your spirits up, you will eventually get this side of your body back." I mean, you see I'm waving both hands though, but they said eventually, because it was gone at that point, and it wasn't something that they thought there would be a quick comeback.
And that was on Wednesday?
That was on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm. So how long were you in ICU? That was overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday, or no?
Yes, right, correct.
So they move you into a regular room by Wednesday. How do you feel that adding micro daily impacted you? Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, I'm not a miracle cure person, but, and you know me, as you said, you've known me for years. I'm a bit skeptical about anything and everything, but I will try things. And I know that Jehovah designed the body with an amazing capacity to repair itself. And given the right tools, I know that can happen. So my baby brother snuck into the hospital against all odds, and he started me on supplements. He started me on supplements right away. And I wasn't expecting anything, and I'm not, saying anything, but just to cut to the chase, I woke up that next morning, because I always wake up at 3 a.m. Well, always anyway, but especially there because it was so hot. And I get all tangled in the covers because I had no use of the left side of the body. So I'm, tugging and pulling with the right side and kicking with the right side normally. But all of a sudden, I was awakened by the fact that both sides of my body were kicking. Both legs were kicking. Both hands were tugging. And it kind of freaked me out at first. I thought maybe I was dreaming. So I didn't get up, but I just lay there and I extended my hand into the air and my hand went up, and that freaked me out a little bit. So then I wiggled my fingers and they worked, which was shocking to me because I wasn't dreaming. It really was happening. And I mean, was it a miracle? Was it the supplements? Was it both? Whatever the case, it wasn't a fluke. Because it didn't just happen. I mean, it continued on throughout the day. And so much so, I'm just going to say, which was kind of funny to me, but not really. The doctors and the neurologists and the people who had seen me in the beginning, they knew I had a stroke. But as the new nurses came on duty and they would tell the next nurse what was going on, they go, "Well, they say she had a stroke." Like they didn't even believe it anymore, And I'm like, I had a stroke. I really had a stroke. But the level of transition from one day to the next was so drastic that there were those coming on duty for the first time looking at me. I didn't look like a stroke victim. So, I mean, you know, those who knew, because there's still a little deficit in my left side, a little heaviness of the tongue. But, you know, I got my memory, I got my words, I got mobility. So it was just kind of hard to believe.
That was, that's pretty remarkable. You told me a story about one nurse, and you don't have to tell this part of the story if you don't want. I'm going to break in right there because I think you guys kind of get the point. That was just one of the remarkable stories right there. This was all during the same week now. So she had the stroke on that Sunday, Monday. By Tuesday, they're telling her how it's gonna take a time before she gets the left side of her body back again. They said eventually you'll learn to walk again. Eventually you'll recover some of this. But I was the one who snuck in there into the hospital because this was during COVID. They wouldn't even let her husband in. But I got in. I did a lot of volunteer work at that hospital. So I dressed like I owned 51% of the stock, walked in there with my little volunteer badge on and put my mask on. They just checked my temperature and waved me on. So, but I had a pocket full of Micro Daily. I had separated them all into little baggies. So I know firsthand what happened to her. And it was that same night she took 2 doses of Micro Daily, 3 capsules of the original, twice. 3 while I was standing there. So I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to choke or she could swallow them. She could do it herself. And she did it again that night before she went to bed. That night she woke up with her looking at her arm, you know, and in disbelief that she could actually use it again. So Dr. Prasad's products, you know, I'm just going to tell you guys just really, really quickly to conclude this portion of this presentation, and then Joyce can wrap up our discussion. Look at the ingredients in Micro Daily. Look at the ingredients. Take a snapshot of that if you'd like. We could send you an ingredients panel. There's nothing special there at all. But the combination is so specific, it's so precise. Dr. Prasad got it down to very, very precise measurements as to what the body needs in order to be able to fight back free radicals and oxidative stress. That's what we have there. There are many professionals who say, oh, well, there's nothing special there, so I don't see anything. I'm taking all this stuff anyway. No, you're not. No, you're not. Sorry, you're not. This is the probiotic that Dr. Prasad put together. Remember, this is the man who found out that scientific discovery that butyric acid is an anti-cancer agent. So he knows quite a bit about the gut. So his micro probiotic is the one you want to take. Omega-3, I take 2 of those 3 times a day. And boy, what that does for my back, amazing. Collagen peptide, if you want to slow down the look of aging, you want to get rid of wrinkles and stop the saggy skin, take this every day. So I take one of these every single day, every morning. I put it right in my coffee or my tea. I don't drink the coffee anymore. I drink green tea. Just take 1 scoop of it, 2/3 of a scoop, or 1 packet. They come in packets now, and put it right in whatever it is that you drink. And it will help with your skin. It will help your organs. Our whole body is made up of collagen, but many folks take it for the physical, you know, the external benefits of it. But I'm here to tell you that there's all kinds of internal benefits, including blocking beta amyloids. Beta amyloids is what leads to dementia and Alzheimer's. So that will help your body to do that. So that's an amazing, amazing adjunct. That's why it's so good as an anti-aging component. This is the core 4 that Dr. Prasad wrote a published paper on for anti-aging. Digestive boost, brain boost, sleep boost, CBD boost. The cost is dramatically reduced, only $315 if you buy at full price. So, and we're okay if you pay full price, that's up to you. But we would prefer that you just take advantage of the fact that Engage Global subsidizes it, and you can get it for as little as $206 if you just go on subscription. And you can cancel your subscription after 90 days. That's the best way to take it. Go for at least 90 days, and then you can just cancel it if you don't think you're getting results. This is the very minimum that you want to take, is the Micro Daily EMF and the probiotic. So just get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will be able to answer any further questions that you may have. So this is officially the end of my portion of this presentation, and it's been my pleasure to present this. Paulette has one question before she snuck
Okay.
there just before about to Don.
Yes. What is that eye boost that the young lady talked about?
Fulvia is taking that eye boost. It has 4 ingredients in it that are phenomenal. The eye not only has glutathione in it, but if you can raise astaxanthin, which collects in the eye, it's a major antioxidant for the eye. So it improves vision and visual ability. It's a tremendous adjunct to Micro Daily. So
Okay.
highly recommend that you add that. If you're concerned
Okay.
about vision health in any way, most
Yes.
people take 1 couple times a day. Fulvia says she's taking 3 twice a day. So, or 3 or 4 she's
Okay.
taking twice a day. So you can't go wrong with that one. It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. Good question. Thank you. So Joyce, once again, I commend you for doing such a great job and bringing folks together and scheduling this VIP. I told Joyce that this week was just not going to work. I'm crazy busy. I'm traveling on Sunday. It's not going to work. My phone started jumping off the table, and she said, "No, we're not canceling. You got to do it. People are coming." I said, "Joyce, I got it. Okay, we'll take a chance." Anyway, that's commendable, Joyce, and congratulations. So
Well,
keep up
thank
the
you.
good work. All right.
Thank you. I definitely enjoyed doing this and thankful everybody joined in with us. And I had a special offer, and I'm going to give you the phone number. I offered a full comprehensive scan of the body if anyone is interested. 386-259-8359. You can give me a call and we can talk more about it. Again, the number is 386-259-8359. So again, thank everybody for coming, and hopefully you enjoyed something here specifically, and get back to the person who invited you. Thanks for coming.